Alrighty, welcome back guys. Today we are playing the song Out of Space again. And this time we are going to try and get two other endings. Well, one or two depending on how I'm feeling. Last time we got two bad endings because apparently I chose the wrong choices. This time we're going to play as a dude and then try to pick all the opposite options that I did from before. And hopefully that makes it different. And alrighty, let's just get right into it. Obviously, I'm already kind of forgetting about the game a bit. Not in a bad way, I just don't really remember much. I have bad memory. But that's okay. From my general understanding, if I remember correctly, the song was just radio frequency or something that made people crazy when they heard them. So this time we're going to choose Stuart Ross. Scientific skills are below average, but he has many contacts and great experience, which might prove useful in the investigation. Alright, Mr. Ross. I know last time he tried meeting one of his friends in the CIA, and that didn't quite work out. So maybe I'll be able to actually meet him this time, and hopefully that works out. Ross, my friend, I'm glad to see you. When I heard that those bastards hit you during the raid, I thought your days as a field agent were gone, but here you are, in one piece. I don't think you've been properly introduced to Kathy. She joined the Bureau while you were away. Hello, Agent. I've heard a lot about your past achievements at the Academy. It's mostly exaggerations, honestly. Or maybe I can teach you a few new tricks. Let's do that. I have little interest for outdated methodologies nowadays. Crime is solved with science, not with the hunches. I know you'd become friends. Field experience and scientific knowledge, you'll make a good team. Enough chit-chat. If we want to stop those damned commies, we need to put you back into work immediately. The whole deal with the Ruskies started to go to hell when we caught them red-handed building nuclear cells in Cuba. Where the hell did they get off? That's right, in our own backyard. Okay, this is kind of the same talk that they had before with Kathy. There was no other way to avoid war. Yep. Sounds just like the newspapers licking the president's ass, but it was Kennedy lowering his pants. One must never show weakness to a bully. Now the Soviets know that they can threaten us to get whatever they want. Of course, I'm not happy that the guy died. It was a tragedy, but in a way, he had it coming. Fortunately, I'm not the only one in the Bureau that thinks we've been underestimating the Red Menace. That's why you're here. Take a look at these pictures. Obviously, same people, several bodies. Something could have done this. It's some kind of radio station. A corpse. I don't know what to say. Someone flayed this poor soul like a farm animal. I've had enough of this disgusting stuff. And lovely, isn't it? Where they find them, a picture from the Astronomical Observatory in Gardner. Yep. This morning the sheriff found this desecration. 12 bodies slaughtered and one of the researchers is still missing. Obviously we know who that is already. Or they're researching nothing with any military purpose for all we know. For now, the observatory was the routine deep space data gathering for the Washington State University. Let me tell you, nothing good can come from an obsession with outer space. Still, those folks didn't deserve to die like that. Who's the missing scientist? Nicholas Forster, obviously. He and the rest were hired by the WSU a few months back. Okay, what do you want us to do? It's simple. I want you to go back and make sure there's nothing in this case involving Ruskies. Normally, you would send federal agents, but the town is a few miles away from the Fairchild Air Force Base, which has a lot of things that the commies would like to take a look at. Doesn't look like their job. I understand. We'll go immediately. Just drive there, ask a few questions, and do the paperwork. I'm sure you'll be back sooner than you think. You and your partner walked to the FBI's parking lot and took the black Cadillac. Sounds like a nice car. You drove the car for several days, only stopping to sleep at motels whilst on the road. Every mile you drove away from the headquarters of the Bureau lifted an oppressing feeling off your chest. Let's see what she has to say. Catherine was silent and frowning. Something seemed to be bugging her. Do you want something? Do you have a problem with me? I just don't like your attitude, that's all. Would you care to explain? Well, the way McConley treats the rookies like me, as if we aren't ready for the real world out there compared to the old dogs. As if I didn't know how to do my job. McConley's an idiot, I'm nothing like him. I think you're capable of doing your job, but just as anyone else. You're giving McConley too much power over you. I think you're capable of doing your job as anyone else. Tisk. I didn't need your validation. Why is she so... Bro, she's acting like a bitch this playthrough. Sigh. Look, I know you're trying to be nice. I'm just stressed. Actually, they both acted like douchebags. In their own way, I guess. The assignment is my chance to get noticed. McConley only sends to the field folks from the police background. We scientists are always kept behind a desk. You don't know that for sure. Times are changing. If you do good field work, you'll get my commendation. Okay, thanks, but I don't think that will be enough. But I do appreciate your words. You're not the crony idiot I thought you were. Haha. Never mind, she's cool. Crony idiot. Cool. Overall, the state of Washington wasn't very welcoming. Almost as if it was trying to warn you to stay away. I can deal with long trips, but not with uncomfortable silence. Turn on the radio. This seems to be some interference. Turn it off. Weird. That's when you realized you were just about to arrive at your destination. Okay, cool. A town called Gardner in Washington State. A bunch of nosy villagers watched closely as your car entered the small town. I mean, it's probably the same thing as before. I know it's a small town, but I wasn't expecting it to be so American. It looks to be too much of a peaceful place for such crimes. That's what it would seem to be at a first glance, yes. But actually, research on the topic has revealed that people from the rural and isolated places like these are more prone to generate psychopathic behaviors. Okay, interesting. This is leave. As soon as you stepped out of the car, a young man ran towards you. Alright, so this guy, we could have interrogated him last time, but I chose the widow. This time I'm probably going to choose him, see if there's anything really much different to look forward to. Black suits, driving a black Cadillac? Are you FBI, CIA, or maybe another more shady organization? We're from the FBI, yes. Wow, federal agents in our town? Finally. Everyone will see that I was right all along. No, I haven't properly introduced myself. Daniel Brown, author of the Fortean Report. Are you here from for the dead scientist? The sheriff has not let the press on the site yet. Is it true that one of the astronomers is still missing? Do you have any clue of his whereabouts? I can't confirm or deny anything. But the readers deserve to know the truth. What readers, Daniel? That weirdo friend of yours was the only one who ever read your stupid flying saucer fan size. And look at what he ended up doing. You don't know for sure that Nicholas was the killer? What I know is that I can get you arrested for obstruction of justice. Now scram. Yeah, that's better. Sorry about that creep bothering you folks. I'm glad you came, Sheriff. Sheriff? No, I'm just a lackey. The sheriff is my boss. I'm Albert Crane, the deputy. Nice to meet you. I take it you're the federal agent that was sent over to investigate. And you are? I'm Agent Armstrong, FBI. So the government doesn't send one, but two feds to mess around. I guess that you folks are so frightened to leave your fancy bureaus that you need to come in pairs, huh? Catherine's expression seemed like she was about to murder someone. Just kidding. To be honest, I'm not really sure why they sent you. The sheriff and I have already identified the killer. It may take some time, but he will be found and brought to justice. I guess you've made that long trip in vain. Did it? Yeah, it's not like we have any proof yet, but it's obvious that the killer is a missing scientist. He went mad, murdered everyone, and then ran away. What do you know about him? His name is Nicholas Forrester. He also goes by Nico. He came to work here about a year ago. I didn't know him personally, but I've heard he was a bit of an oddball, obsessed with UFOs. That son of a bitch. Only he could have done it. Okay. What do you know about this town? Just typical place. We're pretty close to a military base, so all this is restricted airspace. There's no planes flying over us, that's why the astronomy station was placed here. Other than that, it's just a town full of good people. Sure. Who was that reporter that spoke to us? Danny Brown, a reporter? Ha! What a joke. Reporter's a word way too big for what that clown does. He likes to say that he runs a magazine, but really all he writes is a bunch of nonsense about UFOs that nobody reads. It's nuts, I know. He was friends with the killer, but I don't think he's involved at all with the murders. I've known Daniel since high school. He doesn't have the balls to hurt anyone, and much less do something as inhumane as this. He's just a laughing stock of the town. I don't know, man. I think he's kind of chill. How's the town reacted to all this? Well, it's a small town, so news spreads quickly, but I think most people don't realize how horrible the whole show was. The saddest part is that one of the dead scientists was just married to the mayor's daughter, Carrie. Poor girl. But I guess that means she's game. Where's the sheriff? He's waiting at the crime scene. Cool. I can bring him to you if you want. Okay. Honestly, not much changed from last time apart from just a couple of dialogue tweaks. But that's to be expected. Hey, George, the feds are here. The sheriff seemed nervous. He quickly tossed his cigarette and walked towards us. I'm George Barry, the sheriff of Gardner. And you are? I'm Ross, and she's Agent Armstrong. I'd say that I'm pleased to meet you, but the circumstances are quite grim. You'll find the crime scene inside the station with the bodies and everything. Was this place a research station of some kind? I don't know. There hadn't been any problems with it until now. But I'm sure that in the future, this town will be more worried about accepting foreigners. Maybe it's better if you see it with your own eyes. Wait, I have more questions. I think a lot more will be answered if you check out the crime scene. Afterwards, we can talk and I'll tell you everything I know. Damn, okay. I guess. The place was an old army radar station, which had later been repurposed to gather radio signals from space. The military design was still evident, though. It was high in the mountains, so the air was cold, perhaps too cold for this time of year. Weird. And that still scared me this time. As soon as you opened the door, you regretted it instantly. A flow of foul, rotten air invaded the whole place. You covered your mouth with one hand, trying to desperately to control the sudden urge to vomit, and then you stepped inside. Alrighty, same thing as before. The interior was as welcoming as promised. It was hard just to breathe among the smell of half-rotten corpses. As you step in, your shoe touches something on the ground, a mutilated arm. Just one of the dozens of human remains scattered all over the place. What the hell happened here? Did someone throw a grenade? Alright. We clearly already know what happened here, but, a table full of computer controls. There was a main event, the whole circus of horrors. A small bloody human torso, the skin has been removed, legs butchered, the eyes have been pulled out, and were lying close to the head. The body has been covered by a pile of human ears. 24. Holy shit. There was an axe on the table, and it was bloody. There were small chunks of flesh all over the edge of its head, and the handle too. All this was just done with a single person with an axe. I find that hard to believe. Okay, damn, he's kind of smart. There was a group of mutilated corpses lying on the ground. Arms and legs have been chopped off with plate discard. Some bodies have been decapitated too. The sheriff showed his face through the door. We haven't found all the heads yet. Catherine walked towards the bodies, examining them carefully. It's not just the limbs that have been cut off. The ears. They've all been removed. About that. Maybe we should check the bodies on the table. I already did that. They're all there. Axe. Okay. Let's see what they have to say about this. What do you have to say, Kathy? God, I hope these poor people died quickly. What can you tell me about the bodies? The bodies show signs of struggle, all kinds of bites, bruising, lacerations. If it wasn't because of, well, everything else, I'd say they got into a big fight. The dismemberments must have been done with a heavy-edged weapon, maybe that axe over there. Yeah, can I help you with anything else? Any theories on who did this or why? This kind of sadism can only be the work of a psychopath. The objective was not just killing. These people have been desecrated to levels of obscenity. It makes no sense to any rational mind. It wasn't fury, it wasn't revenge. It was joy. The suspects was having a blast. We're just seeing the remains of a big party. Okay. How are you holding up? Well, this is something I've never seen before. I don't think anyone has. I just wonder what kind of broken mind is able to hurt others with such sadistic disregard. We will soon know. I know. That's what makes me nervous. Anyway, you don't need to worry about me. Any idea of what to do next? You may want to step outside and speak with the sheriff and his deputy, Ross. Perhaps they'll tell us something that will help us to make sense of this all. If this had any sense at all. Okay. I think I've seen enough. Leaving so soon? There might be more clues here to check. Why'd she say that? Over table. There's an axe on the table. It's bloody. Yeah, it's the same. I don't think I'm missing any sort of questions. Yeah, I think I've seen enough. I guess you understand the situation better now. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer. When were they seen alive last time? The strange part, I visited them that afternoon and everything seemed normal. Who could have imagined that they would be like this in the morning? When did you find them? In the morning, around 9 a.m. You see, I'm friends with Carrie's family. She was married to William Kowalski, one of the scientists working here. She told me that her husband hadn't come home last night, so I wanted to check if he was actually working. Sigh. She thought he was having an affair. Anything about the missing scientist? His name is Nicholas Forster, but everybody calls him Nico. An unremarkable guy, fresh out of college. Not the sanest fellow, that one. Always talking about UFOs and government conspiracies, but we never thought he'd come to this. He hasn't been seen since we found the bodies. We think he ran away to the woods. That sick bastard. I hope beasts find him and make him pay for what he's done. It will still be merciful compared to what I would do to that fucker if I got my hands on him. You seem pretty convinced. Come on, there's no other explanation. It had to be him. He was working here the night of the murders. He's the only one whose corpse is not rotting in there. And he ran away. I just wonder what the hell makes a lanky scientist lose his head and chop all his friends up like that. That's when Catherine came out of the station. She had something in her hands. It seems that you guys missed the clue. So, what do you think? What are these? Cassette tapes. They were near the body with the axe. It seems like you missed them in our search, partner. We have the equipment to listen to them in the car, back in the town center. But perhaps you want to take a look at them and see if there's anything that catches your attention. The tapes have dates on them, so maybe they're recordings made by scientists. Wait a minute. Yes, the one from the night the murders happened is missing. Yeah, well, whatever, that detail doesn't change the bigger picture, does it? Well, we all know he actually took it. Most likely, the murderer took it with him to cover his tracks. Folks, it's getting pretty late, so I'm going to lock the gate up until the doctors arrive tomorrow and disposes of the bodies. The last thing we want is animals having a feast with the deceased. And I'm sure you're pretty tired, so Albert can drive you back to the hotel if that's okay. Sure, I'd love to take a shower. You headed to the deputy's car who drove you back to your hotel in town. After checking in at the hotel, and that was a horrible voice crack. After checking in at the hotel, you went straight to your room. Oh, we got a phone call. Hello? Ross? Finally, I've been trying to get in touch with you for hours. We just arrived at the crime scene. Damn. If you were there so long, then you must have found something interesting, huh? Listen, I'll be speaking tomorrow with some of the top dogs in Washington. It seems that the Fairchild base was about to start testing a new prototype for the Air Force, so they're pretty nervous about this whole incident. Naturally, I've advised to stop the entire operation until you finish the investigation. So I want to check with you that any evidence So I wanted to check with you about any evidence of Soviet involvement you might have found. That's your main hypothesis, right? It's too soon to discard any possibilities. Come on, Ross, this is no time to take it easy. Stop chasing Catherine's skirt and focus on the job. Well, dude, I'm just trying to do my job here. Everybody in Washington is looking at this case. You need to find solid evidence, and soon. Your credibility's on the line here. And let me be clear on this. If you're not able to find anything, I'll make sure to send someone that can. Understood? Yes, sir. So this is how it goes, huh? If we solve the case, he takes the credit in Washington, and if we don't, we take the blame. Well, that's kind of fucked. Right? Can I save? I'm gonna save. Anyway, I just forget about that for now and call it a day. You barely got any sleep. Strange nightmares kept on haunting you whenever you closed your eyes. I mean, from last time, it's kind of obvious it's just showing what happened, I think. When the sun finally rose, you had a quick breakfast and headed down to the reception center. We said we'd meet here. Where the hell is she? Damn, so even she's late. That's crazy. For such a small town, the hotel is pretty fancy. Yes, how may I help you, sir? Have you seen my partner? As far as I know, Miss Armstrong is still in her room. Should I call her to tell her to meet you here? Yes, please. I'll do it right away. Okay, I guess now we just try to leave and then she's gonna come in. I can't leave until Kathy shows up. Oh my god, congratulations. It's about time. Good morning. Sorry for being late, but I was reviewing the files on the dead staff. Oh my god, I can't speak. But I was reviewing the files on the dead scientist. Find anything useful? Not really. They'd all just graduated from college. For most of them, this was just a temporary assignment while they worked on their PhDs. I heard someone call you yesterday night. Sorry for the intrusion, but the walls are pretty thin. Was it McConley from the Bureau? Yeah, he wants the case solved fast. So first he tells us that it will be an easy job, and now he rushes us to finish quick? Well, if he wants us to be fast, I've got an idea. I think we should separate today. That way we would be able to follow more leads at the same time. Sounds like a good plan. Thanks. I think I'll pay a visit to Kowalski's widow. I believe she'll be more open to talking to me. The question is, who should you talk to today? Do you know who do you want to interview? Okay. Last time, he couldn't talk to the guy at the Pentagon, but I'm assuming if I do it, I think I could talk to him. Okay, so maybe Daniel Brown might have to wait for another time, because this one seems kind of important. I could call my contact at the Pentagon. You know someone there? You're full of surprises. Maybe they know something more about the Fairchild Air Force Base, something relevant to our case. It's it's a long shot, but it might be worth it to make the call and find out. Anyone else you'd like to talk to? What about the reporter, Daniel Brown? The funny guy? The deputy said that he was friends with the missing scientist, Nicholas Forrester. As a friend of our prime suspect, he might know something about what could have happened to him. Any more suspects that you want to interrogate? I know who to interrogate. Don't worry. In that case, I'll take off. Let's meet after you're done with the first suspect, then we can share notes. Okay. Okay, I've got two options. Let me save here, just so that way, if I ever need to come back, I can just switch it. Call my contacts at the AF. I know this guy from the Army, Paul Maine. We used to be pretty good pals. He owes me a big one. Last time we spoke, he was pretty high up in the Pentagon. But I shouldn't call him from here, just in case. You walked around for quite a while until finding a lonely phone booth near a park. Okay, I haven't seen this before, obviously. This seems like a discreet place to call. Let's see if the number he gave me still works. You're calling the offices of Paul Maine. I'm Sherry, secretary. How may I help you? Agent Ross from the FBI. Got it, Mr. Ross. I'll make sure he gets back to you. Wait. Yeah? I need to speak with him now. He left strict orders that he was not to be disturbed unless it was personal emergencies. It's exactly that. Oh, what's going on? His father's trying to reach him. His wife had a car accident. We had a meeting today. His father? I don't know anything about this guy, so I'm gonna say I really need his help. I see. Look, Mr. Maine is in a meeting now, but I will tell him to call you back as soon as he gets out. Thanks for calling. Well, I should have chosen my words better. That was completely useless. But I still have time to check my other lead, that creepy reporter, Daniel Brown. Alright. I failed to call him, I guess. According to the sheriff's files, Daniel Brown's house was located in a residential area, further away from the hotel. A typical American suburbs house. I'm sure this guy lives in his mom's basement. Heh. Yeah? Does Daniel Brown live here? And what do you want with my son? Wait, you're one of those federal agents, aren't you? My son told me he was helping you and your partner on solving the case of the murders. But this kid has such a big imagination that one never knows whether to believe him or not. Haha. So you're here to capture Nico, aren't you? That's terrible, terrible man. Did you know Nicholas Forrester? Yes, he visited my son a couple of times. I always knew there was something evil in that one. Didn't like him one bit. But he always came here with that Kowalski fellow. Now that was a good, decent man. It's a shame what happened to him. Why do you say Nico was evil? Well, I can't say anything in particular, but he liked to listen to a lot of rock music. And he had long hair, just like a woman. We don't like those kinds of hippie troublemakers in this town, sir. No, we do not. Maybe it's better if you speak directly with my son, Danny. He knew him more than I did. He's upstairs. Follow me. Not in the basement. Close enough. Oh, I wasn't expecting your visit, Agent. Cool dude. Seems neat. Let's look around. 40 times number 147. There is intelligent life on the sun? Question mark? Daniel had turned the attic into his room, though it resembled more like a room befitting a teenager rather than an adult male. The walls were decorated with rock band posters and pictures of supposed UFO sightings, and there were magazines all over the place. I hope my secretary wasn't too much of a bother. Heh. Actually, your mom was very kind. Oh yeah, she's quite elderly, so of course I insisted on living with them, so I can take care of her, you know? Whatever, that is not important. If you're here, it's because you need my help solving this case. You've made that right choice coming to me. I have a lot of information about what's going on. Alrighty. What do you think happened at the station? Well, I haven't seen the bodies, but from what I've heard, it was quite gory, and all clues point to Nico killing everyone with an axe. But if you ask my opinion, that's all bullshit. My prime suspect, the United States military. They do have ways of making people do terrible things against their will. And I accidentally skipped something. You psychotic? Of course you have. You work for a government agency after all. All I'm saying is that we should keep an open mind. What can you tell me about Nicholas Forrester? He had lived his entire life in Seattle, so moving to this small town was quite a culture shock for him. He felt like most people in the town were dumb and boring, except for me and Kowalski, of course. But other than that, he was just a normal guy, not a psycho. He wouldn't hurt anyone, especially not Kowalski. It just doesn't make any sense. They were friends. Did you know William Kowalski? Yeah, he was one of the scientists working at the station. We were good friends. He was friends with most of the town, though. The guy was really nice and well-spoken. He had natural charisma. But I think it was just a mask, and deep down he felt like his only true friends were Nico and me. Man, I'm going to miss him so much. Was there anything strange going on with the scientist? Strange? I wouldn't be able to say. I didn't know them that well. They were not very interested in my stuff. A lot of the scientists lacked imagination. They never questioned what they were taught in school. Of course, some among them do have an open mind. Nico and Kowalski, for example. So they're fans of your work, huh? Yeah, I felt honored having them contact me. Though, to be honest, I felt that talking to me was part of their own investigation about secret radio emissions from the Air Force Base. They were convinced that the folks at the base were sabotaging their work. Why would they ever think that? To understand that, you need to know more about what they were doing at the research station. They were scanning for radio transmissions coming from space. And it seems that the radio signals were from airplanes interfering with the radio waves, and scientists needed to record. So, tell me more. That's why they built the research station here, because of the Air Force Base. It's all restricted airspace. Okay? So even if the Air Force tested prototype crafts for a few hours each month, there was still tons of hours without any air traffic to capture data. But lately, within the last 6 months or so, they hadn't been able to record anything with their devices, even when the base wasn't testing anything. Nico and Kowalski were convinced that the military was invading the entire radiophonic spectrum, like emitting garbage radio waves on purpose to interfere with their research activities. And when they tried to speak with the commander at the base, the Washington State University ordered them to close the research station down immediately. The station... Why are there scientists there if they were told to close down? They put a whole lot of pressure on the university. They even wrote about it in the campus newsletter. And they were allowed to reopen just a month ago. Then, they all appeared dead, and one of them is missing? So he gets all the blame? Rather convenient, don't you think? Why would they want them dead? I don't know. Maybe they heard something that they shouldn't have. Look, I'm a bit tired, and all this talk about my friends is depressing me. Maybe come back another time. Okay, but I'll let you know if I remember anything else that can be useful to the investigation. Okay, cool. Like I suspected, this runs deeper than we originally thought. I should meet up with Kathy and check what else she learned. To tell what's going down in there, you made it back to the town center. About time. I've been looking for you for a while. I think this is a good spot to put our findings together, don't you think? How did your investigation go? I interviewed the Kowalski widow. She's completely convinced that Forrester went mad and killed her husband and all the scientists. But I have no way of knowing how much of that is just her believing what the sheriff and his deputy told her about the case. She told me that Kowalski and Nicholas were quite good friends, though they'd had some arguments recently. Arguments? About what? Apparently their research had been quite unsuccessful lately. They suspected that the military was sabotaging them somehow, but disagreed on how to proceed. But the day before the murders, they had a meeting and made peace with each other. In fact, they were quite excited about their investigation having a breakthrough. How about now? How about you? Did you find something good on the case? Explain what you learned. Kathy listened to your explanation, nodding her head from time to time. As much as I hate to admit that McConley was right in being interested in this case, it feels like there's more to it than I originally thought. It's getting kind of late. Let's head back to the hotel. We can compare our notes while we walk there. The sun was going down and the air felt colder. Soon it would be dark. I hope McConley doesn't call me again tonight. Yeah, what do you want? What are your theories on the case? I don't have anything solid yet. Every clue we get seems to point in a different location. Now, can we head to the hotel? It's getting kinda late and it's freezing out. Alright, let's walk there. As soon as you entered the hotel, the clerk approaches you. She seemed quite distressed. Excuse me, agents? The sheriff called and said that you should go to his office immediately. Did he say what it was about? Well, he said that apparently somebody killed the deputy. Thanks for letting us know. Tell the sheriff that we're heading over there immediately. Let's go. Gardner was surrounded by miles of forest. You wondered if Nicholas Forrester was looking at you from somewhere over there. It's locked. Agents? Oh, thank God you've arrived. This door can't be opened from the outside without a special key. Let me unlock it for you. Can I enter there? No, okay. The lifeless body of Deputy Crane lied in a chair, covered in blood. This is madness. I spoke of him just a few hours ago and now he's gone. You need to call for reinforcements, Agent. We need the federal team to track down that maniac. First, tell us what happened. Isn't it obvious that lunatic Nicholas Forrester shot Deputy Crane and then ran away? And you chased him? No, I wasn't here when he killed Crane. I was on my way home and suddenly I heard a gunshot. Of course, I rushed back here immediately, but when I arrived, Forrester had already left. I looked around the area nearby and there was no trace of him or where he could have gone. Do you mind if we check the scene? Sure, as long as you call for reinforcements once you're done. The more time this psycho is on the loose, the more likely it is that he finds more victims. This definitely doesn't look like the same MO as the one at the research station. Either the killer was in a hurry or there's something else entirely going on. I'm going to ask the Bureau to send a forensics unit down so we can find out for sure what happened. I'll examine the room meanwhile. Good. Check for anything that seems out of place. Just don't step on any blood, okay? Okay, so we kind of know what's going on here. Of course, the window's locked. They all are. Is there something wrong? Can these be locked from the outside? No intruder could have entered from the outside. The doors can't be opened from the outside, so the only way to enter was through the window. Maybe Forrester entered through the window, shot Deputy Crane, and then locked all the windows and left through the front door. That wouldn't make any sense. Nothing that this bastard has done so far makes any sense. He's fucked up in his head. Maybe he did it to confuse you. So far, I'd say he succeeded. Okay. There was a trail of blood going down Crane's arm across onto the floor, and in the middle of the bloody puddle, a revolver. A police-issued handgun. He dropped it? That's Crane's weapon, I'm sure of it. I guess he aimed it at Nicholas, but the bastard shot him before Crane could fire back. You put the pair of gloves and examined the gun. Wait a minute. The weight of this thing isn't right. You know the weight of a gun? Well, obviously, but I'm talking about, like, the difference? Looks like I thought. A bullet is missing, and the barrel smells like the gun has just been fired recently. Did you find something? How many gunshots did you hear? Only one. I wouldn't notice if there was more. I'm not that dumb. Why? The shot came from this weapon. But how's that possible? Was he? We shouldn't rule out suicide, actually. That's ridiculous. I knew him like a son, goddammit. He was the most cheerful person in this damn town. So you can forget about that shit right now. He wouldn't have killed himself ever. It's better if I place the gun back where it was. A lifeless body of Deputy Crane sat at the chair. He had been shot in the side of the head. 2 holes. The bullet went in and out. I guess it wasn't a high caliber round, otherwise he would have had a headless corpse right now. You notice that there was something unusual on the desk, next to the typewriter. Sounds like some kind of cheap portable cassette player. Let's see what's inside. It's a tape that was missing, but why did Crane have it? Did you find anything relevant? Crane had the tape that was missing. What? Why would he have it? Because he hid it from us. That's a ridiculous accusation. Forster must have dropped it when he was here. I mean, actually, the sheriff is lying to us, but whatever. Just spoke with the Bureau. The Specialist Forensics Police Unit is on its way. We'll get here tomorrow morning. And they're bringing a team to apprehend Forster as well. Did you find anything relevant while I was gone? Your partner found a few extra details, but nothing that changes the overall picture. Forster broke in somehow, probably through the window. He tried to ambush Crane, who didn't notice his presence because he was listening to the loud music. He took Crane's weapon and, perhaps as a sick game, made him listen to the recording of the night of the station murders. After that, he shot him and left in a hurry before he could come back. That's an interesting theory, Sheriff. I take it that you support that theory too, Ross? No one broke in here. I know where you're heading here, so let's make it. Let me take it off the table right now. Crane did not shoot himself. You spoke to the guy, goddammit. Did he sound like the sort of guy that would blow his own head off? I mean, kind of, I'm not gonna lie. I've got to admit that Sheriff has a point there. Why would he do something like that? Maybe because of this. Is that the missing tape? The deputy had it? Crane must have taken it from the station, but why would he hide it from us? I bet the sheriff knew about it. Did you, Sheriff? No, I just... Were any of you involved with the murders? You seemed hell-bent on blaming Forster since the very beginning. No, that's not what happened at all. Sheriff, if you know anything, I advise you to tell us right before we press charges against you for obstructing the investigation. Alright. Yes, it was Crane who took the tape from the research station. But it's not what you think. You see, what happened when you visited the research station was... Can you believe these fucking city snobs think they can come here and tell us how to do our job? And those feds? I'm sure those douchebags think that they're hot shit. If they weren't feds, I'd smack them... What? I'd smack that attitude right out of them. There's nothing that the feds enjoy more than bossing around folks like us, kid. It makes them feel important. At least they'll catch Forster and then we can forget about this whole shit show. I wouldn't count on that, not without this tape at least. Are you insane? Do you know what could happen to you if they find out you took this? They won't find out. While they waste their time looking for clues, I'll listen to it. If it says nothing about Forster's whereabouts, I'll tell the feds that we found it after we checked this place a second time. But if it mentions where Forster could be hiding, we could go first and catch him. We'll take the credit and teach those douchebags a lesson. Well, when you put it like that, I guess there's nothing wrong with us checking that tape first. And I've always thought we deserved a bit more respect from the folks in town. I swear to God, that's what happened. Sheriff, but your story sounds a little bit too convenient. And the only person who could confirm it is dead. I'm telling you the truth. We just wanted to check out the tape. Keep on pushing him. My partner doesn't seem convinced, and neither am I. What did you do to Forster? Did he run away and that's why you're trying to frame him? No, you're making a mistake. I'm innocent, I swear. Listen to the tape. You'll see I've got nothing to do with that tape. He's right. We should check it out. It may be the only way to know for sure who did it and why. Your partner took the tape and looked at it closely. Have you decided what to do with it? I can listen. Okay, honestly, last time none of us listened to it. So this time, hold on. Let me save the game again here, just in case. Oh, I decided to do with it. This time I'm going to tell Kathy to listen to it. Or, yeah, I'm going to tell Kathy to listen to it. Kathy sat at the desk in front of the Deputy Crane body, put on the headset, and pressed play on the device. Okay. So far, everything seems normal. They started working on their research as usual. Tell me what's happening. Seems that all the scientists were there. I can hear Kowalski and Forrester talking. Are they arguing? It doesn't seem so. They're just chatting. Okay, now they're talking about what they were going to do that night. It's about a signal they detected some time ago. What kind of signal? Something kind of strange. They thought maybe it didn't come from Earth, and Forrester thought it may have been a message. A message from who? They had no idea. They weren't even sure it was just a normal, natural phenomenon. Based on what I'm hearing, they were quite happy because they had just found a way to listen to that mysterious signal despite all the interference. It seems that they hadn't been able to collect a clean sample and they could analyze it until that night. Now they're just spouting a lot of technical details. Okay. They just activated the station's antenna and are getting a clean transmission. Kathy? What the hell? Kathy removed the headset, allowing you to hear some of the noises of the strange melody that creeped you out. What the fuck? Okay, I'm not listening to that again. And what's up with you? You look like you've seen a ghost. Did you see that? All I remember is my ears getting shocked. They're still buzzing, goddammit. So, what did you learn? It was Forrester, right? No way to know who killed them based on that recording. They just started screaming for some reason, and that was it. All that damn tape gave us a whole bunch of unanswered questions. Alright, I completely forgot to just acknowledge the alien that we just saw for a split second, or whatever the fuck that was. And honestly, creepy. Good for us. Oh, come on, just let me go. I'll bring you the killer. Shut up, Sheriff. You'll remain here until we find out who murdered Deputy Crane. What was that? That noise came from the corridor over there. There's someone else here. I'll keep an eye on the sheriff. Go check who's making those noises and be careful. I thought listening to the tape was going to make the characters insane, but it looks like Kathy's okay. I think. It's a storage room. There's someone in there. It won't budge. I don't have time for this. Who the fuck? Freeze! Damn, he's gone. What the hell was that? Did you shoot? Why did you shoot? Oh, yeah. I did shoot. There was someone here. Then go after him, Ross. I'll be right behind you in a minute. Hey, don't cuff me. What if Forrester comes back? Well, I think that was Forrester, but... You pursue the figure as it runs away to the woods. Your legs start to hurt, and you're panting. But you don't stop. Eventually, the figure stops at the lonely cabin. I need to get better at reading. Don't worry, guys. I'll do that eventually. Now I've got him. Perhaps I can make that person come out. Federal agent, come out now. No response. Alright, I'll just get in there. No sign of Kathy. If I don't want that person to escape, I'll have to go in on my own. I may be alone, but not defenseless. The dim light from the old lamp is the only thing keeping the interior of the cabin from total darkness. Slowly, your eyes get used to the low light, and then you see someone hiding behind the furniture. I surrender. Don't shoot. You were in the sheriff's office? Why? I was looking for something important. I need to get back. We need to destroy it. Not until you answer me. There's no time, don't you understand? The song is out there on that damn tape. Some fool had played it. I can feel it. It has to be destroyed before more people get killed. How do you know about it? I guess there's no point in hiding anymore. You might have guessed by now, but I'm Nicholas Forrester. Forrester, you're under arrest. There's no time for this. Don't you get it? We need to destroy that tape. And then you can do whatever you want with me. After all, it was me who discovered the way to get through the radio block and listen to it. It's all my fault. What's on the tape? The source of it all, what made the deputy blow his brains out, what made my friends kill each other. I didn't tell him that, you know what? Sure. All because of that damned music, the song that they were researching on that Fairchild base. You must have seen the corpses. Haven't you figured out who did that to them? It was them. Yeah, we figured it out. Laughing as they were killing each other. Cool. I was laughing too. Even poor Ellie was laughing. Kowalski grabbed the ass and cut her head off. Damn, poor Kowalski. And the entire time that voice kept on whispering to us, telling us that it was all a hilarious joke. Whose voice? It was no one's. Don't you get it? There's no one on the other side sending it. It's the music itself. What is it exactly? Only God knows. A parasite, perhaps, infesting worlds, one after another? What I know is that it takes the shape of melody. It is through that form that it gets into your head. Even now, I can feel it scratching at the edge of my mind, waiting for me to give up so it can take over. Even worse, it got into the audio log of that damn night. You must let me go so I can erase the recording before it happens. No way, you're under arrest. There's no time, don't you understand? I have to do it, with or without your help. Suddenly, Forrester tries to reach out for a gun. No! You need to stop it before it can. ... Forrester fell motionless in a pool of his own blood. Yeah, no doubt. He was dead. I came as soon as I could. That body on the floor, is that Forrester? He was our only suspect, and I would have loved to interrogate him, but I'm happy that you're safe. Anyway, you better stay here. I'll go back to the sheriff's office and get someone to help us shift the body. I can go instead. I know you're tough as nails, Ross, but you just shot someone. Take a minute to breathe. I'll be back soon. I think she just wants to avoid staying here alone with the corpse. Then you felt something strange in your pocket. What the? You must have taken it from the sheriff's office without noticing. I wonder what I should do with it. Alright. So it looks like... I'll just break it this time. You snapped the tape in two and ripped its contents. And when you did, you felt somehow relieved. Of course, you didn't know it at that point. But that decision was a mistake. The end. Alright. So... This is... I basically got the same ending. But... I saw the alien for the first time. That's good. And... I don't... I'm assuming that a way to get a different, like, a completely true, like, different ending is by talking to the agent. And that's something I'm gonna have to do this time. But before that, I want to actually listen to the... I actually want to listen to the tape myself. Alrighty guys, we're back at the same point that we were last time. The game crashed twice on me. And it took me a bit to get here. But now we're back. And that's okay. And this time, I'm going to listen to it and see, you know, what's different here. Or what, you know, we're going to see. And hopefully, you know, we get something different. I'm not going to complain about not having to hear how those people got murdered. You sat at the desk in front of the Deputy Crane's body, put on the headset, and placed the tape in the device. Testing, testing. Okay, Dr. Kowalski, this is recording. Gardner Station, log day 48. We're going to attempt again to record, also known as what? Would you stop interrupting me, Forrester? Keep listening. So, as I was saying, we first detected signal 6 months ago, and while we got clear recordings, we've extrapolated some interesting data about its origin. Keep listening. From what we've been able to determine, its source is located further away. What? It could... Oh my god. We can't... The strange patterns, what this song has either. This is just skipping so insanely fast. Is there... Damn. And we can ignore the strange patterns that this song has. Keep listening. Indeed, we quite notice that the signal has structure with... Okay, it has structure. We theorize that these patterns could be produced, and oh my god. Also, some of us who believe that it may be code. Unfortunately, the order to shut down the station made it impossible to get proper recording of it. That is until tonight, of course. Okay, so they're just talking about how they got the recording of the song as they're labeling it, and they're finally going to be able to decrypt it today. I mean, the night that they got murdered. Good. As I mentioned in the previous log, since the Gardner station reopened, we haven't been able to detect transmissions. This has been due to constant massive storms and interference we haven't been able to establish. So tonight we'll be able to use a new high-speed signal processing technique, which was devised and some by, I'm assuming, that's me over there. Keep listening. This procedure should allow us to get a clean recording of the transmission despite all the background interference. We have to have necessary modifications. Sorry to interrupt, sir, but we're ready to begin the scan. Keep listening. Excellent. Starting the recording transmission. Well, this is fascinating. I've never heard anything like this. It feels like something alive. What the hell is this? This doesn't seem like radio transmission at all. More like a strange melody? Huh, I'm detecting an unusual amount of... Turn it off. It's here. It followed us. This can be just growing inside my head. And I can see you. What the... Okay. It's kind of the same thing. Hey, are you okay? Your face turned white for a second. I saw something. Saw, you mean heard? I guess the tape must have been pretty hardcore. But at least you know that the murder's Forrester, right? What did you learn? It wasn't Forrester. That's impossible. If it wasn't him, then who? Something else. Then our damn luck. We finally find a tape, and all we get are more questions. What was that? Alrighty, guys. We've already done this 3 times. So at this point, I'm just going to skip to the end, see if it's the same thing. And hopefully it isn't, right? I'll just cut to if it's something new or not. Alrighty guys, we're back to this point. Obviously nothing's changed, everything's been the same up to this point, but this time we're gonna keep it. It should be the same time as all other 4 times. Okay, so it's been a mistake. Alright, we're 4 for 4 on the endings. Like the 1D's 4 for 4, and that's okay. It definitely... I will probably definitely have to talk to the... Alright, I'm gonna go talk to the agent, and then I'll meet you guys there, and hopefully that will give us something different, right? Not the same ending over and over again. And maybe we'll finally learn something else. Hopefully. Alrighty, we're back at the same point we were to talk with the agent. This time, I'm gonna just lie my way through it. Honestly, it seems like the easiest way. And we'll see what happens from here on out. You're calling the office of Paul Main. I'm Sherry, his secretary. How may I help you? Can I speak with Mr. Main? I'm Stuart, friends of Paul's. Agent Ross from the FBI. Got it, Mr. Ross. I'll make sure he gets back to you. Wait. Yeah? I need to speak with him now. He left strict orders that he was not to be disturbed unless it was personal emergency. It's exactly that. Oh, what's going on? We had a meeting today. His father's trying to reach him. His wife had a car accident. Let's just say his wife had a car crash. Sure. Oh my. Yeah, I'm at the hospital right now. Oh dear, I hope she's okay. Can I please speak with Paul? Oh, of course. I'm redirecting the call to him right now. Please don't hang up, sir. God damn, that bitch takes so long. I might actually save here just in case I fuck something up, which I really hope not. It's me, Stuart Ross. Ross, how'd you get this number? That doesn't matter. I need your help. Look, this is not the best moment. I've barely had any sleep over the last few days. What can I tell you? What can you tell me about the Fairchild Air Force Base? What? There have been some murders. It's a case I'm working on. So they've assigned you to that case, huh? I don't think we should talk about this over the phone. Come on, man, you owe me. Shit, alright, let's talk, but not over the phone. Where are you right now? In Gardner, in the states of Washington. Understood, I'm near the area. I'll meet you at the town center in 2 hours. And be discreet, I don't want to bring any unwelcome attention. Alright, so we finally got him. And it's good. It's fucking incredible. This is something new. Good. And let's just hope it gives us something to change this up, or at least let us learn something new. Either he's paranoid or he knows of something I don't. Probably the latter. Unless he lied to me, he should be here soon. Ah, there he is, but what the hell is he dressed as? Oh. Who's this guy? Are you sure you're not under surveillance? I don't want to get in trouble because of this. Don't worry, I'm alone. For our sake, I hope your skills at avoiding the authorities are as honed as in the army. Listen, after your call, I checked the reports they have at Fairchild about that research station you're investigating. And let me tell you, they had tons of material. None of the researchers could sneeze at the station without the folks at the military base knowing. So the station was not for space research? Why were they monitoring them? Monitoring? No. It was more than that. They were sabotaging them. I'll tell you more, but not in the middle of the street. I don't like how the folks here are looking at me. I know a place. Follow me. Nobody would be looking at you if you weren't dressed like a maniac. Alright. Much better. Two friends just having coffee. Not suspicious at all, right? So about the dead scientist. The folks at Fairchild weren't interested in the scientist or the research per se. Instead, they were worried about what the scientists would discover what they were working on. Okay, wait, well, hold on. Instead, they were worried that the scientists would discover what they were working on at Fairchild. Okay, so they were hiding something, obviously. That's not surprising. That's why the military was blocking the radio signals that reached the station. They even tried to pull some strings at the WSU to shut down the entire operation. Okay. It all has to do with something that the Army surveillance net detected about a year ago. The investigation was so secret that it didn't even have a name. But the files constantly mentioned something they called the song, a radio transmission that was being sent from beyond the Earth's atmosphere. Like static noise? Kinda, but the AF believed it wasn't just noise because it had clear patterns, cyclical repetitions, and overall structure, like some kind of complex code. Someone was sending encrypted messages. Encrypted messages? From who? The analysts that worked on it didn't know. They had several theories, mainly that it was how the Russians sent orders to their agents in the US soil. Or the Chinese. Maybe it was the green men from Mars. Was the AF able to decipher the code? Not at all. Lots of the accidents started to happen. Two of the analysts just disappeared, never to be seen again, and another killed themselves. It smelled like they were into something big, so the top brass called the CIA Ace his codebreaker and let him work on the recordings of the song for 2 months. After that, they went into his lab in Texas and found that he had assaulted his assistant and then hanged himself. The whole investigation was cursed. Okay. It's clear what's going on. Aliens, right? Aliens or secret message. We can't understand it. When we do understand it, we go crazy. That's all. It's easy as that. Where did the scientists fit into all this? Remember that the military tried to pressure the WSU so that they shut down their research station? Unsurprisingly, it backfired. Hard. The scientists were pretty pissed off. They sent a letter to the WSU newsletter and started investigating what was really going on, asking a lot of questions. And if it was the commies, the top brass couldn't afford to leave evidence that they had detected the song. So they quickly allowed the research station to reopen, but ordered Fairchild to admit interference full time, so that the scientists couldn't catch the song. maybe they cracked the code and the Russians killed them. And since that didn't stop them, they got them killed. It's a possibility. Either that or they got hit by the same Russian kill squad that got rid of the code breakers. What? Whatever it is, you have to find it alone. Everyone that's got close to that song has ended up in the deep shit, and I don't plan to be the next one. Thanks for your help. You sure? This might be big. I said no. I've been in this business long enough to know when to quit. And my advice is that you find a way to get out of this case soon. And just another thing, there's a weirdo at the alley on the other side of this street. He's been watching us the entire time and taking pictures. Please go through the back door and make sure that these photos never get to my boss. I'll be back in a minute. Don't bother. I'll get back to the base. My boss must be missing me already. Get the key info from Ross's military contact. Okay, cool. Are you waiting for goddamn Christmas or what? Go get the pictures from that fucker. Okay. Let's leave real quick. Oh, how are you doing, Agent? Okay. We're clearly at a point that, never been here before. I'm gonna save this just in case. Why are you spying on me? How long have you been following me? Your camera now. Why are you spying on me? I don't know what you're talking about, sir. I saw you taking pictures of me. Spying on the Fed is a punishable offense. Okay, I don't want any trouble with the law. I'll delete the pictures when I get back home. Delete them now. You got the camera from his camera before he can react. Hey, give it back, please. I spent all my savings on it. You open the camera and take the roll. Once exposed to sunlight, all the pictures were erased. God damn it, man. I had pictures of my holidays in there. You should have thought of that before. Fuck you, dude. You return to the camera to Bobby. He runs away from you, pissed off. That's one less thing to worry about. Maybe I should have been kinder with him. The sun was going down and you made it back to the town center. About time. I've been looking for you for a while. I think this is a good spot to put our findings together, don't you think? Share what you've learned. Cassie listened, blah blah blah. As much as I had to admit that McConaughey was right. Being so interested in this case, it feels like there's more to it than I originally thought. I interviewed the Kowalski's widow. Same thing. She didn't know too much about her husband's job. Asked me. It's getting kind of late. Cool, whatever. Which I cared enough. Alright. She seems quite distressed. Excuse me, agents. The sheriff called, said that you should go to his office immediately. Did you say what it's about? Alrighty. It seems that it's the same thing from here. I'll just let you guys know if there's something new. And we'll be right back. Alrighty, guys. We're back at this point. I haven't changed almost anything. I've listened to the recording myself again, and everything has been basically played the same, except now we have, you know, the agent's info and stuff. Who knows, maybe something different might happen. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. I surrender, don't shoot. Actually, I'm gonna try something different. I'm gonna get myself knocked down again, and we're gonna see what happens there. Who the hell are you? Why'd you run away? Same thing. Who the hell are you? Forrester, you're under arrest. There's no time. Don't you get it? You need to destroy that tape. What happened to the station? What happened? Fucking hell on earth, that's what happened. All because it was them. Then they did it to themselves. They killed each other. Same thing we've heard 5 times. Cool. How did you survive? I don't know. I remember nothing after I got knocked out. I woke up in the forest, naked and half dead. I barely managed to crawl to this place, but I wish I'd died that night too, because I won't be able to ever forget that song. Even though I can feel it scratching at the edge of my mind, waiting for me to give up so it can take over. Even worse, it got into the audio log of that damn night. You must let go. You must let me go so I can erase the recording. Don't worry, I'll straight tape. Good, then I guess there's only one thing left to do. Suddenly, I'm just not gonna shoot him this time. I know I did that the first episode, but it might be different here. Kathy comes in clutch, obviously. Why do you make me do it? Don't worry, Agent. This had to be done. The music was in my head, too. When you got back to your feet, Forrester was lying motionless in a pool of blood. He was dead. Same thing. Never shot anyone dead before. Is he dead? Thanks for saving me. Yeah, I did a good job, didn't I? That was Forrester, wasn't it? Better stay here, I'll go. Okay, I'll wait. I won't take long. As your partner left, you felt something strange in one of your pockets. What the? I was taking it from the sheriff's office without noticing. I don't know what I should do with it. I'm just gonna break it. Alright, that decision was also a mistake. The end. I think it has multiple endings and secrets to reveal based on your choices. Find them all. Okay, so it's been the same thing 4 times, and I am kind of tired. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get all my thoughts in order, and then I'm gonna give a, nice little review, see if I missed anything. And yeah, I'll be back in a second. So, I searched it up because I want to see what I was doing wrong, and turns out most of the endings are basically just this. There is one where it's worse because you go crazy if you hear it, and you end up killing Kathy, and you end up eating her intestines. Yep, that's a worse ending, but it's different than the endings that we get now. I don't know how to get it, and honestly, maybe I won't, because I think it's okay where it's at. I've already tried a fair amount of times. Overall, it's a good game. I did all, I went all 3 routes with the interrogations, talked to the widow, talked to the agent, talked to the reporter. Overall, they all led kind of to the same point, but that's okay. It's still a good game. I liked it. I had fun with it. And overall, I think it's very solid. I did enjoy playing the game, and I really hope you guys also enjoyed looking at it and listening to me play it. And if you guys liked it, then feel free to subscribe. I might post more contents like this soon, depending on, how I'm feeling. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a nice day.